Welcome to the Foundations of Math 1, Unit 8, Study Guide, Objective Number 1. Okay? So, in all of the questions in Objective Number 1, they're asking you to write the equation or write a function that models a situation. Well, remember that a function is a fancy way to say equation. Okay? Function means equation. And all of these equations, you'll look and you'll see, even in the title, it says you're writing a linear equation. And if you look at the graph that we're going to write an equation of, it's talking about a line or a linear function. And all linear functions follow that format of y equals mx plus b, where we need to know what m equals, that's the slope, and b is the y-intercept. Okay? So this whole unit, this whole objective, you're going to have to find m and find b. If you can do that, then you can find the equation of the line. Really simple. Okay? So, step one, when you're given a graph, the easiest thing to see is the y-intercept, the b. So we're going to find b first. The y-intercept is you use the y-axis, okay? And this is the x-axis. Which one touches the y-axis? Okay, or where does the line touch the y-axis? And if you follow it, it touches right here. And pay attention to the scale as it goes up. It goes up 0 to 600, 1200, 1800, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48. It's kind of going by sixes. Okay, so that's 4800. So your B is 4800. Okay. Now we need to find M. Well, that's rise over run in a graph. Okay. And so just pick two spots that go perfectly through the middle of these things. They're called crosshairs. Okay. Or the grid, perfectly in the middle of a grid. Okay. You could have done here. You could have done all the way down here. It doesn't matter. Okay. So if I look, it goes down one square, or I guess one rectangle, but is going down one really going down just one? No, it goes from 4200 or 4200 to 3600 or 3600. That's down 600. Okay, so make sure you know where they go. Alright, and then if we look here, it goes left and right. It goes from 20 to 40. Well, that's 20 spaces. Okay, and then it's rise over run, so that'd be 600 over 20, and then ask yourself, is it going a positive or a negative graph? And if you read from left to right, is my pen going down or is it going up? And it's going down. So this is a negative 600 over 20. And then you divide that and you get negative 30. Okay? So if we were writing it in y equals mx plus b, our m is negative 30. And then our b is positive 480. Let's do that in purple. Or not 480, 4,800. Now, that's fine like that. But it says write a function. Function. There's special notation for function. And technically, on this graph, there are no x's and there are no y's because this is real life stuff. Okay? So, what are our y's talking about? It's talking about water. So maybe use W to represent water. This is talking about time. time in minutes. Maybe you could use M or T in this case. I used M in the example in class the other day, so I'm going to use M today. Okay? So, if this is W and this is M, then the way we can rewrite this in function notation is our X's become M's. Okay? So you get negative 30M plus 4,800. Okay? And then that equals, instead of writing Y, you would use W, but remember it's in function notation, so it's W using minutes. Okay? And this would be an example of the equation. Now you could have used G, you could have used anything that would have been relevant for these two things. Okay? Alright, next question. Question number 2. It says create a function that models the information below. Function, remember, is equation. And then it's linear. We'll notice that it's linear after we start doing the pattern. Okay. So when you're given a table, you find the pattern that the table is moving as it goes through. So it's 5, 5, 5, 5. And not every time that you do a table will the pattern be evident. Like it may skip around as you go. So what you'll have to do is you'll have to see by taking each one, and remember it's the change in Y over the change in X. Okay? And so this is kind of like our X column always. This is our Y column. Okay? And so you'd get 30 over 5, which is actually 6. Okay? And then if you notice 30 over 5, 30 over 5, 30 over 5, it's 6 all the way through. So we do have a pattern, which means this table is linear. Well, when we're doing linear, okay, remember, it's y equals mx plus b, where we need to find m, and we need to find b. Okay? Well, we just found m. When you have a table, you just do the change in y over the change in x. Or you could have done y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 if you'd like. So you could have done negative 30 minus negative 60 over 5 minus 0, and you would have gotten, on negative and negative make a positive, 30 over 5, which equals 6. So either way that you would like to do it, you could do it, and it would give you the same answer. So our m is 6, and then we need to find our y-intercept. Well, it's really simple. Our y-intercept is always where the x thing is 0. Well, this is our x column. We see 0 right here, and you get negative 60. Okay? So negative 60 is our y-intercept, or b. Okay? So now, you would normally write it y equals mx plus b, y equals 6x minus 60, but we want to write in function notation, and we want to use the variables that they give us. And they give us variables right here, and it's already in function notation. So it should be really simple. So you got d of w equals, and then your slope, 6w, and then minus 60. And that's your answer. Okay. Question number 3. Given a pattern, okay, we read the whole sentence, okay, it says write an equation to represent it. So now you can write an equation. It doesn't have to be in function notation. You can just write the equation, okay? So we look at the pattern and we try to figure it out. Now, there are several ways you could go about it. You could count these individually and then write the numbers near there, which is what I'll do for the first time. 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 2 makes 8. 4 plus 4 is 8. 10, 12. Okay. 5 plus 5 is 10. Plus 3 is 13. Plus 3 more is 16. Okay. So now you see it goes 8, 12, 16. So what's it doing each time? It's adding 4. Okay. So you could see it that way. Or some people are more table oriented. So you could do the figure number and then the number of tiles. And so figure number 1 has 8. Figure number 2 has 12. Figure number 3 has 16. And then, just like we did in the previous question with the table, you just find the pattern this way. And we get plus 4, plus 4. And this is plus 1, plus 1. So really, a change in y over a change in x, you get 4 over 1, which equals 4. So either way, this and this are the same. That's how our pattern changes. Crap. Okay, so we have how our pattern changes. Now, the way we originally learned patterns is you could do the arithmetic sequence thing and simplify down the A of n equation. So we started with 8. We added 4 each time, and it's always n minus 1. Okay? So then you distribute, okay, so you get 8 plus 4n minus 4, because you distribute, okay? And then you have like terms, boom, and that equals 4n plus 4. So A of n equals 4n plus 4. Okay? And so really that's y equals 4x plus 4. That works too. They mean the same thing. So we can accept that as an answer. Okay? For this particular one, if you like to do the table better, okay, you get your slope of 4. And we need the y-intercept, which is where 0 is. Okay? Which means we'd go back 1. Which means we go back 1 here. Or I guess technically it would be 4. So we go back 4. 8 minus 4 is 4. So we get 4 as the y-intercept as well. So y equals 4x plus 4. So either way you do it, you get y equals 4x plus 4. Okay. Question number 4. This is when you're given a word problem and you're asked to create a function. Okay, so now it gives you a function and it tells you which letters to use. You need to use M and C of M. Okay, so it says a cell phone company charges a monthly fee of $55 and $0.05 per minute. Okay, or 5 cents per minute. Write a function that relates the total monthly charge, C of M, to the number of minutes, M. Okay, so we know that C of M, like if you remember anything, is always the thing that equals something. Okay, that's like our Y. Okay, so now we look at our other variable. It's M. That's like our X. And it says it's the number of minutes is M. The number of minutes represents M. Look at the numbers up here. Which one has minutes next to it? Right here. Per minute. That's the one that's going to have the variable on it. Minute is m, so that's 0.05 m. Okay? So that's 0.05 m. And then, and $55. This will not change. It'll just be $55 each month, and it won't change because it's just a flat fee. And so the flat fee is like our wire sub, and that's the $55. Or it's constant, so it won't change. Okay? Constants have no variable because they don't vary or they don't change. So that's why the 55 comes out to the side. And there you have it. Number 4 is that simple. Thank you for watching Foundations of Math 1, Unit 8 Study Guide, Objective number 1 video. Please move on to Objective number 2.